Folks, I thought I'd just do a quick video. The Mighty 40 got some days off now, leading up to Christmas, so I thought I'd get stuck into some more stuff on the Mighty machine here. Slowly but surely clearing out the interior. So I've got the heater box out, and I'm just about to pull out some of the wiring. I'll show you some of the stuff I've also pulled out of here in the last few weeks, just tinkering away as we go. As you can see, I've got boxes of bits everywhere. I've got the front bib and the grill cover, brake booster, brake lines, boxes of everything there. Everything's been labelled as we go. And I'm starting to pull out the gearbox tunnel and all the tools floating around here, accelerator pedals all out. And I'm just pulling out the last of the wiring, and so that'll come out nice and easy. Then I'm going to freshen up everything on the wiring just to make sure that it looks nice and flash when it goes back in. And there we go. Wiring is out. So now I get to do some more fun restoring the wiring here, making sure it's all in good nick, making sure there's no broken plugs, etc. And now I'll finish taking out all of the pull switches and so on. No rust in the floor. Absolutely no rust in the floor. We've got a couple of little spots just down in here and over on that pillar just there. But that's easy repairs, a couple of little holes, but no major rust in this floor at all. First panel started on. I've stripped most of the paint off of it. I've got my first little bit of rust cut out of the 40. Alright, but what we got inside here is some rust holes in the floor. They're not too major, but I've still got to cut that section out here just to replace that metal. I've treated it all with rust converter. Okay, all on the inside as well. Alright, so I've got this bit of a panel here which runs up and down here as a support panel, so I've got to replace that bit of steel as well. Hit it all with rust converter. Alright, all of the spots there that are starting to look a bit dodgy, so we've got the Worth rust converter doing its job. So and then from here I'll cut some little patch panels and weld them in. And I've got my little patch panels ready to go for that inside. So I've now primed with some weld through zinc primer all through there. Alright, and I've also weld through primed the other little panel as well. Here's our little patch panel for the floor, which I've now hit with some weld through zinc primer, because that side's never going to actually get any paint on it, but the weld through zinc primer hopefully will do the job. So we've now removed this section here. Alright, and we've now got that in there. I've still got to grind all the way around the outside and touch up any other little holes that I may have missed, but certainly a lot better. And what I've cut out on the inside, on the floor, we can have a look here in the hand. That was what was left. The rest of it was all big holes, so that's all been replaced inside the floor now. Alright, looking pretty flash. Alright, it's all zinc plated. I've replaced this section here as well. Alright, if you look over there, look very similar to that. Alright, but no, it's all cleaned up. We have our 3 little patch panels here ready to prime up. They're going to go in these 3 spots here. Alright, just a little bit more cleanup and then a little bit more primer in these points, and she'll be right. Give them our coat of zinc primer over the top, and we're going to let that dry like so. I'll give that one a second coat. Alright, so I'm just going to let those dry. Next, we'll weld our patch panels into these spots. And now we have patch panels all in place, ready to go. Bit of a shadow there, got a little bit more there to grind up. Okay, so that's all done. I re-cleaned all that one up and tapped in a couple of extra welds in there just to clean it all up. But other than that, looking pretty good. So as I'm welding, as I'm putting in a spot, just filling in the gaps between the welds, just using a damp rag to cool it to avoid any panel warpage, and it seems to be working quite well. I was using the compressor, but I found that it was just too noisy and using too much power. I've used the rag before, but I just thought I'd try the compressor, and this is working absolutely beautiful. All right. Looking good. Hello, the panel's all ground back now. Ready for some fill. I've just put some primer over the top just to give it a protection. Decided to put a second fuel tank filler on the passenger side of the vehicle, as I'm going to have 2 tanks. So it's going to give me the option of being able to fill up from both sides. They'd already put a filler in here with an ugly looking cap on this side here. But what I'm going to do is I've got another factory one, which I'm going to put in this side here. So I'll have the options of filling from both sides. I'll put a balance tube between the 2 tanks so that when I do fill them, that they both fill up evenly from either side, which will make it a little bit more manageable and easier to fill up. Hello, there we go. Cut the hole out. That now fits in there perfectly. Oh, excuse the camera work. So that now fits in there perfectly. Give me a little bit of a gap to do my butt weld. Okay, and that's going to look pretty flash when I'm finished. There's the filler cap all tacked in, all nice level. So now I'll go around and I will fill in all of these spots, clean them all up, grind them and, oh, bit of focus, clean them all up, and that'll come up a treat. I've ground that back due to the fact I've actually put it in upside down. So that means the filler will sit up here, the flap's going to drop down here. So it should be the other way around. So out it comes, and we'll put it back in the right way. So what I like to do occasionally while I'm welding, butt welding these holes in, is get my wire wheel out and just take away some of the discoloration so I can see where the holes are. When I clean it up, it certainly makes it a bit easier to see. One filler all completed, welded in. Just a little bit more clean up there. There'll be a little bit of plastic in here just to smooth that out, and she'll come up absolutely beautiful. Just hit the whole lot with some Chem Tools rust converter all the way around. Hit it with a wire wheel, cleaned up, and we've got rid of this ugly monstrosity, and now we have our new filler in place. The circles that I put in here in black marker, this lot will get stripped back anyway, but they're just some of the holes that missed, which is quite normal when you're welding in patch panels. But that's yeah, looking really good. So I'll get the cap, I'll get that in the sandblaster. But I just wanted to see how it fitted. It could go up a smidge, but other than that, very happy. Well, I got the 40 all tarped up, so give it a bit of a break. So that's enough for this episode. So what I'll do next time is we'll start working on the rear of the vehicle and start around the other side. So you'll get to see the changes there. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.